a few weeks ago in one of the learning journals, someone referenced this book, Juggling the Issues. And I thought it was very interesting and made me want to investigate the book a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing with the 5-minute book pitch. I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to the author so that he can explain to us a little bit of the background of where this book originated and what its journey has been. Here you go, Matthew.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, all my life I always loved writing. I used to get disciplined heavily for writing too much. And so I thought I'd put everything together. I spent my entire life, writing different stories. I thank God that they weren't published because they were not very good stories or so, like just silly, childish stories. And when I got older, I just never stopped liking to write. 2013, I started to write something, and then I started to think, well, maybe I can make a story out of it. And so from there, I thought maybe I could have the person have what I have, which is autism spectrum disorder. And that's something that has haunted me throughout my life. And I realized that I had a lot of limitations socially, cognitively, with learning and such. I made a lot of friends, but that's also another side of the issue as well. And I started to put my feelings inside this character. It was originally going to be a series of short stories where he gives devotions and such. And then it got bigger and bigger and bigger to a novella, to a novel, to a hyper novel. So I'm like, if I want to publish this, I want to probably not self-publish, but like go all in it. I found a self-publisher, Westboro, and I contacted them and such, but in 2016 I found an agent in Pennsylvania, and he talked with me for 90 minutes and suggested that he liked the short story idea, but make it autobiographical to introduce yourself to the world first. And I'm thankful that he did. A year later, in 2017, I really began writing. I put all my stories together about various issues. In fact, he helped me with the title, Juggling the Issues Living with Asperger's Syndrome. And it's really an anthology or a collection of short stories. And each of the 29 is a short story about an aspect of Asperger's I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. It's a mild form of autism, but other catharses like music and juggling and such that I love doing that helped me as I grew up. Juggling and the U.S. presidents. Memorizing things is very easy for me to do, so that's how I got a lot of friends that way too, in middle school and high school and such, as they realized I could do a lot of things with the presidents. This is sort of spontaneous, but could someone pick a number between 1 and 46?
3.
What?
3.
3. Our third president was Thomas Jefferson, born April 13th, 1743, died July 4th, 1826, served from March 4th, 1801 to March 4th, 1809. He was Democratic Republican, born in Virginia. So that's some. Thanks.
Can you do 18 for us?
Ulysses S. Grant, or Hiram Ulysses Grant. He was born April 27th, 1822, died July 23rd, 1885, and he served from March 4th, 1869 to March 4th, 1877. Wow. In 2017, like June and middle of July, I've basically written the bulk of this, and then I submitted it to the publisher, the agent. Long story short, he got back with me saying to cut it down because I always go overboard. So I spent the next length of time taking out like 40 pages or something, and I resubmitted it to him by November 17th, 2017, or 18th, somewhere around there. And he said, good job, I'll send it to different publishing houses. March 2nd, 2018, I got my contract to Axiom Press, and I had this book on June 13th, 2019. A lot of stress in between there. Then in January 2020, I found out that the publisher went out of business and didn't tell anybody. So his father, I contacted the agent, and I got in contact with his father, who's just starting a publishing house. He's a veteran publisher, and I got republished by River Birch Press. And so this is a republished version. very thankful to have this back on the market. And so far I've been getting a lot of good reviews from people around the world, India, United Kingdom, and elsewhere. So a lot of compliments saying how much I'm helping them understand their son and such. So, and that's the point of the purpose of this, isn't to really say that I've written a book, but am I helping people with my story is the story I want to share.
Can you share, is there an educator that helped you along the way, or the reading list?
Yeah, and so I had a very good professor, and she was taught me the socio-cultural linguistics, language, cultures, linguistic class in this classroom, just to say, and she found out about it because I put it on Canvas, and that's how she found out about it, and she liked it so much that this is part of her optional reading in one of her class. So I've gotten a few videos, reports from her students about this who've read it. So it's still in the optional reading, and in fact I just saw her walk down the hall about 15 minutes ago. So that was neat.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.